Welcome to News Today with WW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss. Here now the news for February 5th, 2020. Disney is in the process of building a better Tomorrowland with projects like Tron Light Cycle Run, the rumored Wreck-It Ralph attraction, which should be under construction soon in the former home of Stitch's Great Escape, and major aesthetic changes throughout the land. But inside of existing Tomorrowland rides, changes are being made to improve the guest experience. You may recall the Reconfiguration project at Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin that began a few weeks ago. The wall blocking the Fast Pass merge from the standby line is now long gone, the room once again wide open like it used to be. The console in the middle of the room is gone, now being used for more queue space. The project isn't quite done yet as there's still some temporary railings, but the door to the load area was moved to the right, meaning you spend a lot more time in the load area as you walk down, all the way down the whole expanse of that load area before you board your space cruiser. It's pretty crazy. Even it's weird they had to make sort of a ramp of sorts. That ramp, I mean a ramp of sorts because I think it's like another, if it's even a foot off the ground, but you can see this incline to that new doorway, but it's what they had to do to get you there. You can check out all the photos at wwnt.com for a better idea, but pretty crazy queue reconfiguration at Buzz Lightyear. Two of the decorative light poles from the Tomorrowland refurbishment of 1994 have been removed and paved over. The changes follow the trend of Disney removing the new Tomorrowland decorative accents in land ahead of the opening of Tron Light Cycle Run, kind of the first phase in a Tomorrowland overhaul. Two sections of pavement are roped off where the two large poles used to stand. You can see what the poles used to look like on the right and left. There's still some there. They removed two of the four, the two middle ones first for some reason. These blockades around them are temporary so that the pavement can dry before letting guests step on it. And while Disney has been removing accent pieces from all over the land, you can see some of the work across the pathway with gray scrims. Since these two light poles weren't attached to the support columns, they were done pretty quickly, and probably the other two will be removed shortly. We assume they're removing the other two. The day has finally come as Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway has received its marquee flashy neon sign ahead of its grand opening just a month away on March 4th, 2020. Walt Disney Imagineering revealed a sneak peek of the installation process on Instagram, which took place overnight. You can't miss the new sign as you walk up to the Chinese theater because it's over most of it. It lies right in the middle of the entrance, covering parts of the building's iconic dragon mural. The huge neon-clad sign features Mickey and Minnie as well as the attraction logo. It appears Mickey and Minnie will wave thanks to flashing neon light effects. On top, you have some flashy cartoon-style accents that will light up in the night. They're not really cartoon-style. I'll talk about that in a second. There's even a new A-frame out in front of the entrance that says, "All aboard Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway. We'll begin boarding March 4th. The top of the A-frame mirrors the same design seen on the marquee. And as with any complex neon sign, it'll look best lit up at night, of course, but we'll have to see when they actually turn that on. Of course, the ride again opens on March 4th at Hollywood Studios and in 2022 at Disneyland Park. This sign, I applaud them trying to pick out something cool for the sign. It is, in fact, based on temporary marquees they would actually put up at the actual Chinese theater for a while, way back, that would span, go across the expanse of the opening between the two, I don't know what you even call those two walls that flank the sides before you go into the courtyard. It would sort of connect on both sides and cross that. They decided not to do that here, which is good, but it's still covering the dragon mural, which is weird. I don't know why they didn't do two side signs like they did for Great Movie Ride. The whole reasoning behind that was the fact that they thought it would be hard for guests to see where the entrance is because it's set back in there. And so people would have a hard time finding it. So I don't know why they decided not to do that this time, but regardless, it's what they've done. I will reserve further opinions because I think you all know how I felt about the Great Movie Ride, and I won't rant yet until I see if this thing's actually good. We'll leave it. We'll see if it's good. We'll move on. Disney Villains After Hours returns to the Magic Kingdom on Friday, February 7th. Disney has given us a sneak peek of the new and exclusive merchandise that will be available at the event while supplies last. Similar to last year, Hades takes center stage in the design of many of the items, like the signature event pocket t-shirt. Joining Hades are other villains like Maleficent, Scar, Ursula, the Evil Queen, and Dr. Facilier, adorning a new blue pocket t-shirt, a ladies' tank, and a ladies' long-sleeve shirt. Another fan favorite villain is sharing the spotlight this year for a few items. Oogie Boogie is the star of the Light Up tumbler and the headliner for another t-shirt that also includes other villains we love to hate. You may recall this tumbler was made for Oogie Boogie Bash, a California adventure last year, but now it's here. You'll be able to find event merchandise at the Emporium, Star Traders, and Fantasy Fair. For additional Villains merchandise, of course, check out Fantasy Fair for an assortment of the normal, everyday Villains items. You can also find specialty food and beverage offerings available for purchase across the park during the event. And Disney Villains After Hours occurs on 24 select nights starting February 7th. We will be there. I'm going on Friday to cover the new and altered entertainment. Maybe some of the food as well that's a part of this, so stay tuned for coverage. We'll probably write up another review. One of our more popular posts of last year was the review of the first Villains After Hours from last year, so we'll probably write another one since people really seem to be intrigued by this and if it's worth it. So we'll let you know. CityWorks Eatery and Poorhouse is finally opening at Disney Springs. We've been checking the new restaurant location regularly for signs of a potential opening, and cast members have confirmed an official opening date to us. CityWorks will be opening this Thursday, February 6th, just in time for early dinner seating at 3 p.m., and enough time for me to get back here to do news tonight. Construction walls came down yesterday, but the restaurant is currently hosting a preview for cast members. This is pretty normal, these test meals. Menus are out for guests to peruse ahead of the grand opening, which is nice. And for the full menu, you can check out our website. It's already up there. This is slated to be a table service location with plenty of bar seating throughout. Advanced dining reservations aren't available yet, but we'll keep checking online and let you know when they are. Best of all, it seems to-go drinks will also be available. And of course, stay tuned on Thursday for our full review of CityWorks. For those celebrating something special who want a little bit more time in front of the camera, Disney is piloting a new experience at Magic Kingdom Park called Capture Your Moment, a perfect add-on to your visit. Capture Your Moment lets you book time with a Disney PhotoPass photographer for a personalized photo session during regular park hours at Magic Kingdom to capture celebrations and milestones such as proposals, baby announcements, graduations, anniversaries, family reunions, first visits, birthdays, and probably a bunch of Instagram people. But all these influencers are going to do it. All Capture Your Moment photo session locations will offer an iconic view of Magic Kingdom Park to include a view of Cinderella Castle. Once you arrive at your photo shoot location, you'll have the opportunity to capture photos there with your photographer for up to 20 minutes. Each Capture Your Moment session is $50, and when you book 2 Capture Your Moment sessions back-to-back for $100, you can spend up to 40 minutes with your photographer capturing photos. During your 40 minutes, you'll have the option to visit at least 2 photo locations. Starting today, you can call 407-939-7758 to book the Capture Your Moment session. Those sessions are available starting February 10th, 2020. According to a new piece by the OC Register, as opposed to the usual application and interview process, Disneyland is testing prospective cast members for the upcoming Avengers Campus Marvel Land in California Adventure by measuring their knowledge and passion for comic books, as well as see how adept they are at storytelling and role-playing in order to best fit the all-new land. This is pretty cool. Instead of traditional resumes, prospective team members had to submit Marvel-themed resumes. After initial resume screening process, even the in-person interviews had a storytelling element. After establishing a superhero identity, the interviewees had to literally break into the interview room. Interview questions included quiz-like questions on superheroes like Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and more. Some of these questions were more along the lines of personality meters to reveal facets of each candidate's identity, as opposed to gauging sheer comic book knowledge. But they're looking for team members with an emotional connection and higher level of interest in Marvel. This is cool. They made them like they had to figure out a code and stuff to open the door to their interview, and it's a pretty fun interview process. I am intrigued if it works. I think this is kind of what they learned from Star Wars. Like maybe there's a way we can better gauge if people will be, in the show at all times. Because I think we've talked about it where there's been experiences in Galaxy's Edge where cast members aren't always, pretending that they're on Batuu, and that was kind of the whole gimmick. So maybe this will better gauge people who will, at all times, be a part of the story. The Disney Parks blog has confirmed that Disney Fast Pass will return to Disneyland's Autopia, quote-unquote, soon. The attraction offered the service, but it was removed in 2015. In addition, the service will also be coming to Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue at California Adventure. This will be the first time the service was ever available at that attraction. Disney also confirmed that Max Pass will be coming to both attractions, but did not say exactly when guests would be able to utilize Fast Pass or Max Pass at either. It's coming soon, though. The latest trend in colorful Spirit jerseys and matching accessories is arriving at Disneyland Paris today. The Arial Grotto Coral Collection will be released, which includes a new Spirit jersey for €59.99, Loungefly bag for €79.99, and ears for €22.99. You can find this collection starting tomorrow, or now actually today, at both Disneyland Park, Walt Disney Studios Park, and at the Disney Village. The release follows the wildly popular Arendelle Aqua, which did come to the U.S. Disney parks, but for some reason they decided not to do this here. Weirdly enough, like a Spirit jersey and a handful of ancillary items were released here without any fanfare. I guess they just didn't think it would do well, but nonetheless, Disneyland Paris is getting the whole line, and it's available now. At the D23 Expo last summer, it was officially announced that Disney Cruise Line is developing a second port in the Bahamas, Lighthouse Point, located in the peninsula on the island of, I'm going to butcher this like I butchered the football player's name, Eleuthera. I think that's it. Who knows? Lighthouse Point will be the second DCL exclusive destination in the Bahamas after the popular Castaway Cay, and was given an estimated completion date of 2022-23. Now, a dedicated website for the location has been launched. A particularly exciting factor about this development is the input from Disney Imagineer Joe Rohde, designer of Animal Kingdom, Alani, Animal Kingdom Lodge, so many great projects, Mission Breakout, Pandora, The World of Avatar. But he has been extensively exploring the rich art and culture of the Bahamas with experts. Disney, of course, prides themselves on being able to have positive sustainability, community, and environmental values, and their mission to bring opportunity to the island with this $250 to $400 million investment. According to the website, the purchase has been completed, and the next step before construction is to have the environmental impact assessment and environmental management plan approved, hold a public consultation, and complete other necessary permits and formalities. Of course, stay tuned to WDWNT for more information on the progress of this site as it is announced. The Walt Disney Company held their quarterly earnings call yesterday. We learned that Disney shares are up 1.7% post-market due to the higher-than-expected earnings for Q1 2020. Much of this growth is driven by the success of Disney+. Meanwhile, Disney Parks Experiences and Products also saw a very strong quarter with an 8% growth in revenue from $6.8 billion to $7.4 billion. Operating income jumped by 9% from $2.15 billion to $2.34 billion. And at the end of Q1 2020, Disney Plus subscribers were up to 26.5 million. Actually, I think as of Monday, February 3rd, again, yeah, there it is, 28.6 million. So even since their press release, it had changed. Meanwhile, in Q2 2020, Hong Kong Disneyland is expected to see operating income to drop by $145 million due to the coronavirus and the ongoing political protests. Shockingly, that's only $40 million more than they were expected to lose just because of the political climate in the country. It's kind of scary how bad they were doing even before the virus. Meanwhile, Shanghai Disney Resort is expected to see a decrease of $135 million in operating income due to their closure, which is simply for the coronavirus. Combined, this means a total expected loss in 2 months, if the parks remain closed for 2 months, of $280 million in Q2. The current expectation, again, is that they'll be closed for 2 months. That's at least how they're gauging financials at this point. But I love Hong Kong Disneyland. It's a charming, cute park. It's really sad that they were already expecting to lose $105 million. That's not good. It's not a good sign for their future. But hopefully they'll reopen and maybe things will bounce back in Hong Kong at some point. But that makes me pretty sad. It's pretty sad. I like that park a lot. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to WDWNT.com. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. On top of that, to make sure, we've had a lot of people ask about this, to make sure you're getting those notifications, you want to hit, after you click the bell, you'll want to hit select all notifications so you never miss a notification of a new episode of News Today with WDW News Today. I know YouTube has made this very complicated, but that's how you do it. So again, you have to subscribe, click the bell for notifications, then hit select all notifications. Again, that'll make sure you get that notification every time we put out a new episode of this show. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.